Corey Pegram here with the ITA, and we are talking with Jill Fonte today, who played 4 years of college tennis at Simmons University in Boston. And Jill and her husband Doug are generous supporters of college tennis and the ITA. And the ITA, we are lucky enough to have Jill as a board member and talking to her today. So Jill, thanks so much for talking with us today.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
So what are you up to nowadays? Can you tell us how you've stayed involved in tennis over the years?
Well, I spent my entire career in tennis, as you know. I owned the United States Racket Stringers Association for 20 years. That was at the time a 7,000 member trade association. I served for 6 years as the chair of the national chair of the USTA's Tennis Innovation Committee. I was on the board of the USTA's Middle State section and ultimately became president of that section. And then I became executive director of the USTA's Eastern section. I'm still largely very heavily involved in tennis, even though I've retired. I serve on the board of the ITA, as you well know, and I do some consulting work. Most recently, getting a corporate tennis league up and running here in Utah. And I also play tennis. I've played my whole life, and I still play anywhere from 3 to 5 times a week. So I believe I will always be involved in tennis in some way, shape, or form.
That's great. And I mean, I feel like you've seen tennis kind of at every level. So you've got perspective on every level between juniors, college, after college, and now through adult leagues, through USTA sections. After having gone through all of that, what in your opinion makes college tennis so great?
Well, I think we need to look at what makes tennis great. I have always wished everybody would play tennis, and I wish every parent would get their children involved in tennis. I think that would make the world such a much better place. But, I would have to ask, what sport is better from a physical, mental, and emotional standpoint? And then if you overlay all of the benefits of tennis with what is happening in the lives of college-age kids, you see that the physical benefits, the discipline, the sense of team, the importance of sportsmanship, and the development of time management skills are all becoming a big part of their lives at a time when those things are critical. College students are just moving into adulthood, and what better foundation for that can there be than to be active and committed to a team? So that's my philosophical answer. College tennis is great because of the enthusiasm, the vitality, the fun, and the energy that's on display at a college tennis match. And I would encourage anybody who hasn't been to a college match to go and see one. It is just tennis at its finest. It's so much fun. So that's what makes college tennis great.
Yeah, no, those are all such good points. And I think too, I mean, within the greater tennis landscape, can you talk a little bit about why that segment, those 4 years, and college tennis as a piece of the overall tennis landscape is so important?
Oh, yes. Well, some would say that college tennis is a wonderful developmental phase for leading into playing as a tennis professional. And while that may be true, only a minuscule number of college players are ever able to set foot on a court as a playing professional. We can, however, look at college tennis as a feeder for the tennis ecosystem. And by that, I mean, former college players are wonderful candidates to serve in positions in our industry. They could be wonderful teaching professionals, club managers. They can become marketing professionals depending on their major in college. They can become product engineers. there are just a whole host of avenues for college players to take in their career that would really serve our ecosystem well. There are many tentacles in the tennis landscape, and the industry is really well served by the passion and the enthusiasm and the education that former college players bring to the industry. So that's why I think college tennis can be really important to the overall health and vitality of our industry.
Yeah, that's such a good point, and I think this year too. I mean, as many people know, it's college athletics as a whole has faced a lot of challenges, like many
Yeah.
other industries. And unfortunately, tennis has been hit pretty hard, along with some of the other Olympic sports. I mean,
Yes.
with you clearly knowing how important college tennis is to the overall tennis landscape and to the individual tennis development, personal development of so many student athletes every year. I mean, why do you think this year, especially in any year, why is it so important for alums
Yeah.
like yourself to support both the ITA and college tennis?
Yeah. Well, the ITA does really, really important work in tennis. It supports the players by providing playing opportunities. It supports the coaches by providing educational opportunities. And it serves as a crucial, crucial advocate for collegiate programs. Um, I think it's important to understand that supporting college tennis isn't just about letting kids play a sport. It's it's really more about helping young people to become better citizens and contributors to the world. I am delighted to be involved with the ITA, and I feel really privileged to be able to advance the cause of college tennis and all that it represents and all that it can contribute to our industry, but also to us as a society. So I personally am reaching out to my friends and colleagues who are former college players, and I'm asking them to support the ITA for all, not only for all that they got out of their playing days, but for the reasons I just illustrated. That I think college tennis is a really important aspect to the development of young people and therefore to the ultimate health and well-being of our society.
That's really well said. And I mean, you said you're delighted to be involved with the ITA, and I can tell you we are incredibly fortunate to have you on our
Thank you.
board and so involved. And I think, I mean, the sections, every organization you've been involved with over the years in tennis, I think we're fortunate to have you. And we from the ITA's end, we're confident college tennis is going to come out of this stronger. And I think a big reason is because of the coaches, the players, the alums like yourself that are involved. I mean, the people are so great in the industry, and you're a big part of that. So thank you so much for taking the time to do this and for all.
Thank you too, Corey. I think the ITA is really important and does wonderful, wonderful work. And I just hope that we as an industry can rally around the ITA and college tennis and help it to thrive moving forward.